Hey, Professor, did I ever tell you what happened with that thief? You know, the book thief we encountered in town. I went after him, and I did manage to catch up, but... Sort of. I actually decided not to make him pay for it. My pockets were pretty empty after that incident, if you want to know the truth. Well, what happened was, when I caught him, I asked him why he stole the book. He said he thought it would fetch a good price and that he really needed the money. He had a sick kid and couldn't pay for medicine. Oh, maybe you're right. But if he really did have a sick child, that would be a matter of life and death. A little money is nothing compared to that. I'd rather believe a lie than risk someone's life if I'm wrong. And to be completely honest, there was a time when I wasn't so different from him. It was a long time ago, and I've put all that behind me now. But yes, I was. My parents died of illness, so I had to provide for my little brother and sister. I did my best to earn money for them legitimately, but I wasn't able to bring home enough. So I turned to thieving. From people on the streets, from shops, even from soldiers. I knew it was wrong, but seeing my brother and sister's smiling faces made me too happy to stop. I really regret that part of my life. I was stupid. But shortly after I turned 9, I crept into a local noble's mansion, aiming to steal whatever I could get my hands on. The noble had all sorts of valuables, but what really caught my eye was a book with a fancy cover. That book was Lugh and the Maiden of Wind. The knight in the illustrations was so impressive I just couldn't tear my eyes away. You probably see where this is going. Moments after I grabbed the book, I was caught in the act by the noble. And that noble was none other than Lonato. But Lonato was incredibly kind. Without asking any questions, he gave me the book, and money too. When I told him I couldn't read, he invited me into his mansion, along with my brother and sister. He taught me how to read, personally. So, with the thief I caught in town, I was trying to do the same thing, to be like Lonato. I want to make up for the bad things I've done, to leave this world better than I found it. That's why, even if it wasn't easy on my pockets, I'm proud to say I helped him. I know what you're trying to say. My contribution probably won't change much. And it's not like I have the money to help everyone who's suffering from poverty. Even so, I can't bear to stand by and do nothing. What else could I have done, Professor?
You're certainly not going easy on me. You fight like a mercenary, not a knight. You hunger for victory, pure and simple. You may not be aware of it yourself, but I see it. Indeed. Knights ought to have some hunger. I've always thought so. They depend too much on their swords. Only when they're wrested away do knights consider their hands and feet as weapons. That's not how it was for warriors of old. They weren't limited by their tools. Victory is what matters, not the method of achieving it. That's the attitude to adopt. I detect that in your style. It is plain to see. You may take it however you like. I believe the difference between us lies within that hunger. But where does it come from? From the start, I was aiming to win. Yet I couldn't defeat you. Then I remembered something you said before. Indeed. I was raised to value strength above all else, whereas you had a reason, an ambition, pushing you toward that hunger. So tell me, what was the reason? Why were you driven to become so strong? That's a mercenary's answer, to be sure. So that is the source of your hunger. I suppose I must find my own. If we're to get along, I think not. I'll be content if you continue to train with me. Perhaps it will come to me as I swing my sword.
Thank you for your help the other day, Professor. Please, allow me to express my gratitude by taking you to dinner. Fantastic. Please think about what you'd like to eat. After all, such magnificent guidance must work up quite an appetite. I've studied swordsmanship for some time, but your mercenary skills are something else entirely. Speaking of which, there's another question I must ask you. Were you reconciled with the reality of battle from your first foray? With the killing part, I mean? I see. No. I do not carry that burden well. I doubt that will change, no matter how many years come and go. The first time I led on the battlefield, I was sent to quell a rebellion in the west. It was not a difficult fight. The enemy was not well trained and their morale was low. A swing of the lance and your opponent falls. A flash of your blade and a path opens up. That's the sort of battle it was. Easy, right? That's one way to look at it. The leader of the rebel army was defeated and the rebellion quelled. This was at the height of the post-war period. I recall coming across a dead soldier's body. He was clutching a locket, and inside was a lock of golden hair. I don't know to whom it belonged. His wife? His daughter? Mother? Lover? I'll never know. He was a soldier, an enemy, someone we had cut down without hesitation. But in that moment, I realized he was also a real person, just like the rest of us. Of course, we cannot stand idly by and allow anyone to commit senseless acts of violence. Yet, in dispensing what we call justice, we take the lives of cherished family members, beloved friends. Killing is part of the job, but even so, there are times when I'm chilled to the bone by the depravity of my own actions. That you feel the same way is more comforting than you could know. Professor, may I speak freely? When we first met, I thought of you as someone who felt no strong feelings about killing your enemies. I could never trust someone who kills without batting an eye. My heart won't allow it. But after speaking with you and getting to know you better, I can see you're not like that. Now I know, with all my heart, that I can trust you. Thank you for that.
Forgive me.
It's fine. Honestly, it's pretty funny when you think about it.
I did not expect the horse to react so violently when I approached.
No kidding. And I didn't expect the two of us to get covered in hay.
Animals have never taken to me. It must be as you said. My face is the problem. I have not honed my smile well enough. I deeply regret the trouble I've caused you.
Don't be ridiculous. And especially don't be sad. It's no trouble at all, I promise. Everyone makes mistakes. Isn't that what you've been trying to teach me?
Yes, I suppose so.
It does look like this'll take a while to clean up. But if we work together, it'll be done in no time.
I am truly sorry.
Don't apologize. When it's your turn for stable duty, I'm happy to help.
Really?
Sure. And in return, you can help me out when I'm on kitchen duty.
Of course.
By the way, I tried out all that stuff you mentioned before, about how to not be a scatterbrain. I'm still pretty hopeless, but thanks to you, I'm making fewer mistakes. It's probably not a good idea for me to be left alone around knives and boiling water, though. That's why it'll be really nice knowing you have my back.
You have changed.
Huh?
You no longer fear approaching me for help. You simply ask. And now, when the need arises, I will rely on you, too. Are you injured?
Dedue, saving the day again?
Apologies.
I'm the one who owes you an apology. You've saved my life how many times now? If I keep being so callous, I'll seem ungrateful.
No matter.
But
I'm accustomed to it.
I'm sorry, Dedue.
Why?
Because the way I speak to you is unnecessarily harsh. The truth of it is, I lost someone very dear to me in Duscur. The punishment came swift to your people, and when I heard of the slaughters, well, I thought it was a punishment well earned. I thought the people cruel and heartless, deserving of the tragedy that ultimately befell them. But you're different. You seem nothing like the people of whom I speak. So why not speak back against how I and so many others feel? Why not question this unfair prejudice and tell me I haven't the right to hold a grudge against you? If you just speak to me, if you tell me the truth about all of this.
I do not know the truth of it myself. His Highness says the tragedy was not the fault of my people. But just like anywhere, there were many different people in Duscur, some very good, and others very bad. It is not unimaginable that some may have conspired to take part in that wickedness. Perhaps we are merely victims. Or perhaps we are regicidal monsters.
Whatever the truth of it is, you are not to blame. The people I hate are the ones who are responsible for that whole mess. You just got caught up in all of it.
Ingrid.
You've rushed to my side. You've saved me countless times. I am sorry for how I've treated you. Truly.
If you think of me as your ally, that will suffice. For me, that is enough.
You don't look busy. Join me for some training, Boar Prince.
And here I thought you had no desire to speak with me.
We don't need to speak to clash swords, do we?
I suppose not. Is that one new? Wait. Where did you get such a blade?
I suppose you would recognize its value. I came upon a merchant selling weapons and found this among the rest of the steel.
That pattern around the edge. There's no doubt. It was forged by Zoltan, the master swordsmith.
I'm not giving it to you.
Huh? Oh, I'm just happy to have laid eyes on it. I don't suppose you'd allow me the chance to hold it.
Do you take me for a fool? I'm not letting a brute like you swing it around.
As though I would be careless with something so valuable.
I recall when you were 9 years old, you swung a sword so hard you snapped it clean in two.
Come now, that was so long ago. I'm hardly the fool I was then.
So you say. Yet House Fraldarius still told that story for years.
What's wrong, Felix?
How pointless. No use talking about someone who's long dead. Looking at your face is making me angry. I'm going to find a different training partner. Farewell, your beastliness.
What is going on with him?
Your Highness? Why are you in my room?
Sorry, I need to hide in here, just for a while. I'll have you know this is all your fault.
Hide? From who?
It's a girl from the academy.
I'm sorry, it's a what?
This is all because of your insistence that I go and ask a girl out.
You didn't give her a dagger, did you? Is that why you're hiding? Does she have a dagger, Dimitri?
Look, you kept true to your promise to improve your behavior. So I felt it was only right to make good on my side of the bargain too.
You invited a girl to dinner, and now she's chasing you around. What's the big deal? Unless... Did you use one of my pickup lines? Those words are dangerous in the wrong hands. With me, people know a line's a line and I'm joking. But you, nobody's ever accused you of being funny.
I clearly underestimated the difficulty of the task. But what do I do now?
Relax, Your Highness. Relax. I'll sort this whole thing out real easy. All we have to do is figure out how to make this girl lose interest in you. And making girls lose interest is what I'm best at. You just wait right there, and I'll fix everything.
It was my naivete that brought this about. I cannot place this immense burden on your shoulders.
This is no job for an amateur. You need a professional's help. Trying to do everything yourself has never served you so well, so just leave this to the master. Even the dagger incident could have been avoided if you had just talked with me beforehand.
There wasn't time for consultation. I only learned she was leaving on the day of her departure.
Whatever you say. The point is, you need to learn to rely on me for these types of things in the future. For now, I got this. And if I ever need help with something you know how to help with, then maybe you can do the same for me.
Sylvain. Very well. When that time comes, I promise to help you as best I can. A Knight of Faerghus never goes back on his word. Isn't that right? You're a good man, Sylvain. I'm sorry to do this to you. Best of luck.
Please, Your Highness. I've spent years honing my skills for just this situation. Watch and learn.
You've been spending a lot of time at the training ground, Mercedes. As far as swordsmanship goes, you're like a whole new person.
Thank you. I have such a great time when you teach me that improving comes naturally.
It's all because of your own hard work. Compared to you,
You shouldn't be so disappointed in yourself. You're improving too. You just need to keep at it.
Well, I can hold a needle and thread without breaking anything now. That's something.
That's a big step. When we started, you couldn't even hold a pair of scissors without twisting them apart.
True. I'm sorry for being such a burden.
You're no bother at all. I like sewing with you. It reminds me of when I was young and my mother taught me how to sew. My mother would sit with my brother and me, and we'd all sew together. I really miss it. Even though I was barely better than you when I started. Did your mother like to sew, Dimitri?
My birth mother? From my father's accounts, she wasn't great at it either.
Oh, of course. I forgot that the Queen of Faerghus passed away long ago.
Yes. I don't really remember what she was like. But I remember my stepmother, always sitting by the window sewing away.
I'm sure she would have been happy to teach you if you had asked.
She always looked so lonely when she was sewing. So unreachable. She was kind to me, yes, but when she was like that, it was hard to talk to her. I'm not certain she would have wished to teach me.
I'm so sorry, Dimitri. I didn't mean to bring up such difficult memories.
Don't worry about it. If I don't talk about those things sometimes, I'll risk forgetting them altogether. And that would truly be a shame.
I see.
But now I'm just going on and on about myself. Why don't you tell me more about you?
More about me? Oh, goodness. I don't even know what to say.
It's hard to think of something on the spot, isn't it? You could speak of your family, I suppose.
You want to know more about my family? On that topic, I'm happy to oblige. In fact, I'm so glad you asked. It's important to think about your past and share it every now and then. This might take a while, but would you be willing to stay and listen?
Of course. I will listen for as long as you wish.
Another day, another training session, I see. You're quite dedicated. And practicing with the sword today. You weren't any good with it when you were little, as I recall.
And who told you that?
Lord Rodrigue mentioned it to me. He said you used to swing your sword so hard that you'd break it.
That was ages ago. I've had plenty of time to improve since then. Now I count swordplay as one of my specialties. Care to see for yourself?
Well, I can't just take your word for it, can I? Let's see what you've got. Well, I'm impressed. You're better than I expected.
I could say the same of you. I suppose we students still have much to learn.
No need for false modesty. We fought as equals just now. You're strong, and your form is excellent. You're clearly an experienced fighter. But you're greedy. You can't be so impatient to win. It'll come at a grave cost.
Greedy? I see. I'll take that note to heart. You have my thanks for the instruction.
Ah, it returns. The formality, the stiffness. Anyway, after we're through here, I might head into town for some food. Care to join me?
I appreciate the invitation, but I have certain duties I must attend to this evening.
Of course you do. Never mind about my plans then.
I thought you'd say that. You have the same sense of responsibility as I do.
You think so? I didn't want to push you to join me. We can just do it another day. I'll confess, I'm taking a shine to you. I'd like to talk to you more.
I would like that as well. Ever since I saw you wielding a sword all those years ago, I've been following in your footsteps. To be able to stand with you and cross swords is quite a...
Hey, slow down. Where did all this come from? You're embarrassing me. That's enough chatter for now anyway. Let's get back to sparring, this time with lances. I won't hold back. Show me what you can do.
Right. Prepare yourself!
Oh, this is delicious. I can't believe I made it.
Yes, you do have some talent.
What's the matter? Have I got something on my face?
No, Sylvain. Recently I've heard rumors about you.
Oh yeah? Which ones? Is it that I'm terrible to girls? Or the rumor where I bring terrible misfortune to the girls I date? I don't, by the way, in case you're about to ask. Oh, I also heard about how I'm total trash and everyone should avoid me. That might be my favorite.
Well, you don't lack for self-awareness.
The way I figure it, if I can't be respected, I can at least be well informed.
You are being described as indefensibly worthless.
Indefensibly? That's a bit harsh.
I already knew your reputation concerning women, but these new rumors deprive you of all redemption. I did try to correct them, but I doubt I was believed.
Well, thank you all the same. Listen, you don't need to worry what people think about me. As you well know, it's not easy to correct misunderstandings or change people's minds. And if I'm going to behave so badly, it seems misunderstandings are inevitable.
I could not be silent. You saw me as a person, rather than merely as someone from Duscur. I want you to be seen as a person too.
I appreciate that, Dedue. You think the world will ever see us that way?
Maybe.
I can't tell if you're joking or not, but I like it.
Then we will get along. Shamir.
It's... you. What is it?
I have a message from His Highness. He will meet you in front of the library tomorrow evening.
Evening, library, front. Got it. Oh, one more thing. A bug landed on your shoulder. Sorry if I startled you. Anything else?
No.
Good.
You get to the point. It makes you easy to deal with.
Likewise. No need to say what isn't worth saying, right?
Precisely. Few others seem to think so.
Agreed.
That is all. Farewell.
Farewell.
Hello, Felix. So, it was your turn to clean out the greenhouse, right?
Yes.
Well, I went ahead and took care of it. I also cleaned up the warehouse.
Why?
I just wanted to help you out. So that... Okay, fine. I'm bribing you. So you'll forget.
Forget what?
Are you really gonna make me say it? Before, in the greenhouse, I want you to forget what you saw and heard. If you agree to forget about it, I'll take your shift in the stables. Do we have a deal?
No thanks.
No? But that's not okay! You have to forget about it, right this moment!
I can't. It's permanently etched in my memory. A mountain of sweets, as well as steaks and cakes. Stacks of them, apparently. I'm also intrigued by those bear and swamp beastie songs you mentioned. Ah, and I've been meaning to ask about the move that went along with crumbs and yums. Was that fencing footwork?
Oh, stop it, Felix! You're a villain!
Hmm?
You think you're so funny? Keeping a straight face while mocking my singing and dancing? Well, you have to forget about it! Please! What if I make you a nice steak dinner? You like steak, don't you, Felix? It'll be yummy!
This isn't about steak. I just...
Fine, be stubborn! Tell the whole world for all I care! I'll just learn to live with the funny looks I'll get from everyone. They'll all say, there goes that Annette, the girl with the funny ideas about food. You're just the evilest of villains, Felix! I'll hate you forever and ever!
I was just trying to be nice. Funny ideas about food? Even the bullies in her head are ridiculous. I really don't understand that girl.
All right then, enough sparring for today?
Yes, that should suffice.
I must say, you've gotten good at seeing through my tricks. I can't mislead you so easily anymore.
I've made it my goal to read your aim and not give away anything through my body language.
But in hand-to-hand combat, your form needs work. On the battlefield, even if you lose your weapon, you can't ever stop fighting. Sink your teeth into their throats, kick them where it hurts. Do whatever it takes to survive.
Have you ever needed to employ such methods?
Not on the battlefield. I've never been in such a dire situation that I needed to. But at the tavern, loads of times. With a well-aimed boot, I've brought many a man to his knees. My point is, you can't hesitate to use dirty tactics. You have to grit your teeth and fight back. War isn't as pretty as it's made out to be in all those poems and songs. Sometimes, even as a knight, you have to do things that you might think are beneath you. You might even have to let innocent bystanders die. Are you prepared for that, Ingrid? Do you really want to be a knight, knowing what it entails?
I'm prepared to do whatever is requested of me, come what may. I will be a knight who loyally serves my king, just as you loyally serve Lady Rhea.
You've got me wrong. I'm loyal to the Archbishop, but only up to a point. I'd do anything in the world for Lady Rhea, except die. If she asked me to die for her, I wouldn't. Does that sound like a contradiction? Very well. That's just who I am.
You're right. It does sound like a contradiction. With all due respect, that isn't very knightly of you. I'm not sure I fully understand.
You will someday. Maybe not for a while, but you will. In the meantime, just don't die, okay?
I'll try my best.